This is all self-contained right here. No extra cables needed, no power adapters needed, no power bank needed. It's all one thing, which is why this is so huge and so great. And my phone is charging at a very good speed right now. This is awesome. This is truly awesome. And then when you leave the break room, you unplug it, and you're still charging that phone because you've got a battery inside here. What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and this is an exciting video. A smaller video. I'm going to try to make it quick because I've covered this a few times now, but this is a brand spanking new Anker product. I ordered it the moment it went live. It shipped a few days later, and here we are. So they changed up the packaging a little bit. Now their thing has just a whole bunch of like wireless charger, their Nebula charging stand, their MagGo Qi 2 stuff. Like, dude, this is kind of cool. Now that I'm actually paying attention to what I'm seeing, it's just a whole bunch of Anker products. So it's a new design that they have started to do. This works for iPhone, iPad, and iPod. Anker Series 5. There is the UPC. On this side, it basically says it's made for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, 14 Pro, 14 Plus, like pretty much all the 14 Pro Max and below models, since the 15 switched over to Type-C. And for iPhone 8 and later, you can do 18-watt fast charging. On the bottom, we have some safety listing stuff. So on the back of it is all the really good stuff to me. So we have the Anker Power Bank 30-watt Fusion built-in lightning cable. This is model A1636. And then we have some more information here at the bottom. I want to go ahead and open it up. All right. So pretty basic. It comes with an instruction booklet. You'll basically scan that QR code and it'll take you to their website. And at first glance, this little guy right here, it's got a little screen on it. It looks exactly the same as the one I've already did a video on. There are no external differences that you can see right away. I mean, if you have a really clever eye, you can catch it right about now. The difference being this little lightning cable here. For some reason, it's a little, like this one stays nice and flush. But this one's just, there we go. Okay, it's straight now. And something I always forget to do because ADHD is how much does this thing weigh? So you're looking at 204 grams. And the other model is exactly the same, 204 grams. No difference. Sweet. And if you need it converted, it's 7.2 ounces. All right, so let's take a closer look at it. Power button, obviously, shows you the screen. It says there's 25% battery remaining. This thing can do 30 watts of output. On the bottom of the unit, we have a whole bunch of information as far as like, you know, what if it can do 12 volts or 9 volts or, you know, like what all it can do. All right, so basically now what we're going to do is we're going to plug this into the wall outlet because you charge it that way. And it hangs off of the out. This is the one thing I don't like about this model is if you have a loose port, it's going to struggle to keep all of that weight on that port. So if you're able to use like something like this where you can set it on a table and lay it flat like this, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be fine. But if you don't, especially if you start hanging a cable off of it and adding more weight down over here, yeah, it's going to struggle with that a little bit. So for those of you that are not aware, this is a watt reader. Basically, it determines how many watts something is pulling from the wall. And for me as a nerd, the higher the wattage, the faster something is charging. The lower, the slower. And with this guy, I can tell you that it's charging at 16.5 watts from the wall, which is great. We are going to talk about built-in USB-C ports and lightning cables in further detail, because there was once a time where everything in my daughter's life was lightning. And it was hard to find a micro USB cable or a Type-C cable to charge up a power bank that could then charge her phone using lightning. So this is a huge win. You can basically just plug this thing right into the wall and then leave the house and you have a fully charged up 5,000 milliamp hour power bank that can charge a device fast on the go. And then when you get to your destination, you plug it into the wall and it's going to charge the battery in here at a fairly decent rate. And then when you get to where you're going, and you can see right there that the number's going up. It's backwards right now, so it looks like 82, but it's 28. You have that built-in cable. So there's nothing to forget. There's nothing to lose. Now with it plugged into the wall, please don't mind my broken iPhone 12 Pro Max. I just use it for testing purposes. Because I don't want to spend $300, more than that actually, on a new screen. So there we go. I plugged it in. It says it's charging. And now it's going to switch and charge the phone using the wall. So this is the beautiful thing about this. We're using the wall outlet right now to charge up this phone at up to 30 watts. Now this phone's capable of going at about 25, 26 watts, and this is going to be able to do that just fine. And then it's going to fully charge this phone. When this phone is fully charged, oh, it just kicked up. See, look at that. 27, 30. Ooh, look at that. So yeah, our phone's charging at a good speed right now. And if you see that, that's flashing. So we're charging our phone battery and the power bank battery at the same time. That is huge. A lot of their older Fusion power banks would only charge your device, and then when your device was done, it would charge the battery inside the power bank. But since this thing can handle it, it's charging the phone and the battery in here at the same time. When my phone is fully charged, it's going to be able to put all of the power into the built-in battery in here. So this is super cool. Basically, you plug this in, you finish your day at school or work or sleeping or whatever, and you have a 100% phone and a 100% power bank, all because you have a wall outlet like this, right? This is all self-contained right here. No extra cables needed, no power adapters needed, no power bank needed. It's all one thing, which is why this is so huge and so great. And my phone is charging at a very good speed right now. This is awesome. This is truly awesome. This is great for like, hey, you have a 30, 45 minute, a 1 hour lunch break at work. You go to the lunch break, you plug this into the wall outlet, and now you got your phone charging at its full speed. And then when you leave the break room, you unplug it, and you're still charging that phone. And you're still charging that phone because you've got a battery inside here. There are still millions and millions of iPhones, iPods, and AirPods like this, and AirPod Maxes and stuff that use the lightning port. That's why I'm excited to have this thing, because I still charge up my AirPods, and finding a lightning cable is not an easy task these days. So with this kind of power bank, you've always got a lightning port ready. But we're not done there. We're not done there. We have a Type-C port right there. So with this little Anker Nano 30 watt, we can plug this thing in, and say you're somewhere where you don't have an AC outlet nearby because they're all used up, but you can find a USB-C port on a laptop, or, I don't know, anywhere else. You can plug this in, and you're charging it at a fairly good speed. And being the nerds that we are, we can actually see exactly what speed it's charging at. So there you have it. We're charging at 5 volts, 3 amps to get 15 watts. That's not too shabby. That's a decent charge rate. Especially with this being a smaller 5,000 milliamp hour battery, that's going to charge up fairly quickly. All right, what we're going to do now is measure what all it can do while it's on battery power mode. I meant for this to be a short video, but of course, in true Josh fashion, we're nerds. We've got to see, I see a very important piece of information right now. So we're going to choose FCP. We got up to 12 volts and 1.5 amps. We're going to choose SCP. We've got up to 22 watts there. Now we're going to do Quick Charge 2.0. So we can do 5 volts and 9 volts, but not 12. Interesting. And then the huge thing that I just saw was that we've got power delivery at 20 watts. So that's up to 9 volts and 2.22 amps. To be honest, I'm not sure what the DCP SAM is, but whatever. So now we're going to plug this thing into the wall, and we're going to see what the difference is. All right, so we're basically just going to unplug this, plug it back in, and we're going to run that test again. Now we're using the wall outlet. So we should get some additional benefits. Yup, and I see it right away. Do you see it? All right, so going up, we have FCP at up to 12 volts, 1.5. That remains the same. We have SCP at 22 watts. That remains the same. We have Quick Charge 2, but now we get 12 volts at Quick Charge 2 and 3. And then this is where what I saw. So now we have PPS, which is great. If you have a Samsung device, that's how you're going to get your 25 watt super fast charging. If you have a Google Pixel, that's how you're going to get your 30-watt fast charging. But here we've got up to 20 volts and 1.5 amps. So this will be able to charge my MacBook Pro at 30 watts. If you have an older MacBook Air, it'll be able to charge it at full speed. So that's awesome. That's huge. Plugging this into the wall gives you greater power and more features, such as PPS. And just to make sure everything was the same, I'm rerunning this test, and I've got it on battery power mode. And yep, I can already tell you that it's the same. So quick charge is only 2.0, not to 12 volts. Oh, so quick charge is 3.0, but we don't have the 12 volts. We have up to 9. And then PD3 is up to 20 watts. Okay, so I know the video is longer, but I want to go back to what I was talking about. So having that built-in lightning cable is so huge. I can keep this in my backpack, and anytime my AirPods are low, because I refuse to buy a new pair of AirPods, I can keep this thing topped up and charging. That's freaking awesome. I love that. I would love to own a pair of AirPod Maxes, but they've been out a while, and there's going to be a new version that's going to be Type-C, so I'd rather wait for that. But if I don't wait for that, this would be probably my exclusive battery for charging it. So I bought this thing back in 2020 on Amazon, and I bought 2 of them. One for my daughter's iPhone, and one for my iPhone 10. I had the 10 at the time, the X. So it had a built-in lightning port, which was huge. And then it charged off of lightning. So, like, I can demonstrate by plugging this in, connect it to the wall outlet, and the thing is fully charged. So with that built-in lightning port, I can plug this in, and look, and I just needed one cable. This same cable can charge up the power bank. Then, the same cable can charge up a phone. So, the issue I ran into was, I needed something like this. I needed a Type-C to Type-C cable, and then I'd plug up the power bank. Or even worse, this was the older power bank that I used to have in her backpack. And, you know, it's a cool little power bank, and it charges your phone at like 10 watts. It's not bad, but it needed the USB-A to Lightning. I don't have a USB-A to Lightning on me right now. I would literally go have to dig through my box of cables and hopefully find a USB-A to Lightning cable. And then when it was time to charge this power bank, even worse, I needed that micro USB input. Well, we've been past micro for such a long amount of time now. I don't have one available. I would have to once again dig through my collection of cables and pull out a USB-A to micro and then charge it. So you needed to carry multiple cables around, and you needed to carry around a power adapter like this, or something like this that had the legacy Type A port there to go from USB Type A to USB micro. That was inconvenient. This was super convenient. Wow, I'm actually not even locating a USB-C to Lightning right now. I've almost ridded my whole life of Lightning. I guess that's gonna be the benefit of this thing, really. So anyways, pretend this was a Type-C to Lightning cable. Okay, so now I can plug this in and charge this thing up. All right, I'm not gonna make this video too much longer. I hope you see the point. Having this was absolutely huge because she could go from the wall outlet, plug that cable into this power bank, charge up this power bank, remove this from the power bank, plug it into her iPhone, charge her iPhone, remove it from her iPhone, plug it into her AirPods, charge her AirPods, and then when she's out and about, if her phone gets low or her AirPods get low, she could plug this in. Everything in her life was Lightning at the time. So this power bank was absolutely amazing, and I ended up getting her the 10,000 milliamp hour version that is even more powerful and better. And anyways, I got her that, but then I upgraded her to the 15 Pro, and now she uses Type-C. So this would be the one that you would want to get if you are primarily an iPhone 15 or later person. Obviously, the benefit of this thing is if your life revolves mostly around the Lightning port, this is the one to get. And if you find yourself one day with a newer Apple phone or tablet or accessories that use the Type-C to Type-C port, this thing will still be relevant. But you still will need to carry around this short little USB-C cable. And now you can plug it into your phone and charge up your newer iPhone. And then all your legacy devices you still own, such as your AirPods, can charge up using that Lightning port right there. And before I finish this video, this is the 10K version, the 3-in-1. The benefit of this is it charges at 30 watts from the wall, which is twice as fast as that. The battery in here is twice as big, and it outputs 30 watts. Whether you're on battery power or AC power, there's no difference. And with this one, there is a difference. You get a higher wattage and additional features such as PPS if you're plugged into the wall. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by giving it a rating. Please subscribe if you're new to my channel. And please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. This is What Would Josh Do? And I'm out. Strawberry wine, 17. Oh my God.